Our next panelist is from the Philippines. The aim of the project, which is called the Sinag Store Project, is to help financially disadvantaged girl students gain marketable design skills and experience firsthand how to use those skills to launch a social enterprise project. The team leader who's here representing her team is Sheena Rose Jamora, and the organization is called Sinag Microfunds, Inc. So, over to you, Sheena. Okay. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. My name is Sheena, and I'm from the Philippines. Today, I'm here to tell you about the Sinag Store Project. This is a program that will empower girl students through social entrepreneurship, digital design training. But first, let me tell you about Sinag. A year ago, I was working in Japan as a teacher and a volunteer suicide hotline counselor. One night, I read the news from my home country. A 16-year-old girl took her own life after she had to drop out of school because she could not pay for her tuition. In the Philippines, those coming from the bottom of the pyramid look at education as their only lifeline to a better future. This girl lost that lifeline, and there was no system in place to help her. That same year, I quit my job. I flew back to the Philippines, and I started Sinag with 6 other friends who believe in the vision of making education accessible to all. At Sinag, we have this culture of collaboration with our students. And during one of our sessions with them, they let us know that, yes, we have been helping them with their tuition, but to stay in school, they also need to spend on other things, such as school projects, everyday transportation, even food. A lot of them would attend their classes with an empty stomach. And this is how the Sinag Store concept was born. We want to train these students so that they can have skills that will let them earn an income now, but will also give them that professional edge after they graduate and start looking for jobs. So why focus on the girls? In the Philippines, 30% less women get employed compared to men. And like most industries in the technology fields, it is still very much male-dominated. And so it's harder for these girls to look for jobs, more so part-time jobs. So they lack the income to stay in school when their families or their parents can no longer support them. So what is the solution that we're proposing? We will create a training and mentorship program that will train the girls in business, develop their computer design skills, and empower them with sustainable income. With the business skills, the girls will attend workshops on social entrepreneurship and also on financial management. The workshops will be facilitated by local women entrepreneurs who are part of our alumni network. Now, for the computer design skills, we have a partner local NGO called Habi Education Lab, and they will conduct the training on digital skills and also on design thinking. Now, after the intensive 2-month workshop, the girls will have 4 months to put their training into practice. Working with their women mentors, they will experience firsthand how to manufacture their design products, how to market them, and finally, how to launch a sustainable social enterprise through the Sinag Store. With a $25,000 grant from Project Inspire, we will be able to develop an effective training curriculum, to pilot test it, to hire workshop facilitators and mentors, to rent or buy equipment such as computer and printers, and also to manufacture the girl design products. 78% of the program costs would go to the direct program cost. And then the 22% will go to program management and also evaluation. Now, for the sales of the products, the girls will be our partners, so 50% will go to the girls and 50% will go to the Sinag Student Loan Fund to help other students in need. At the end of this project, 50 girls who were once at risk of dropping out, of giving up their hope for a better life, will instead become empowered social entrepreneurs and digital designers. Sinag means ray of light in the Filipino language. We hope they could help us create a brighter future for these girls. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheena. Questions from the judges? Brendan?
Yeah, nice pitch. Well done.
Thank you.
You talked about mentors.
Yes.
How are they selected?
Sorry?
How are the mentors selected?
Right now, we are in touch with alumni groups of the university which we're working in, and they will be selected from a pool of supporters, and they would be women entrepreneurs who are already running their businesses in the Philippines.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
Trish.
Would you talk a little bit more about the design store, how that will
Sure.
work, how the income, what are you selling?
Yes. So the girls, during the design workshops, they will be able to produce digital designs. And then we don't want to limit them on the products that they will produce, because a lot of the workshop will be coming up, like brainstorming their own ideas. But once they have the visual design, then they can select products. We are thinking in the range of canvas bags, journals, notebooks. And depending on how the budgeting works, first we will launch an online store. And we are thinking that we could also come up with a pop-up store. So the girls couldn't run the store like every day if it's a brick and mortar store. But if it's a pop-up store where there are special events in the schools that they're in and they could have a store there, then it would be a good opportunity for them to earn. Yeah.
Ed?
So, great presentation. And just to
Thank you.
follow up on that
Okay.
answer, in your team, what kind of retail or e-commerce experience do you have launching something like this to get a user base, a customer base?
Yes, so end of last year, we started a trial run of the Sinag Store, and we sold Christmas cards with visual design. Sorry, I don't have some with me right now. And we're hoping
Send us over Christmas.
Yes, because it's not Christmas, so I didn't want to bring it. But yeah, we started with Christmas cards, and if the girls would want to do something like that, then that's also something that they could sell in the store. Yeah.
So I have a question. Great
Yeah.
presentation, by the way.
Okay.
Why are you choosing? I see the problem. You know,
Yeah.
there are some of them, they drop out, they don't have support and all of that. Why would you not focus on getting them employed in the private sector, just focusing just on the training part, rather than taking them towards, let's open a store? Why is this better for them than just getting the skills to be employed by, I don't know, IBM, or there's so many software companies, so many BPOs that are coming up in Philippines?
That
Why
is
are you choosing to do this?
Sure. This will be the first run of the program next year, and we are thinking that they could work with something small scale at first, such as a store, while they're building their skills. But we are actually that's in our long-term plans, to build up partnerships with companies, because we already have some local companies asking if some students would want to intern. So this could be a start to that kind of relationship with corporations.
Okay, great, thank you.
One small step at a time.
Karen?
Question. Your organisation's Sinag Microfunds.
Yes.
So maybe on that question, you know, what sort of other initiatives you're involved with, and corporations and networks that you're able to leverage on, and some of your experience in that area?
Okay. Our very first initiative, so we were only 9 months old, and our very first initiative is the student loan program. So in our very first semester where we ran the loan, we had 5 students, and for the second semester, our target was 10 students. We're taking it small step at a time. But we were actually able to enroll 20 kids for this semester. And now we're being more ambitious, and our target for next year is to go up to 100 students. And so far, it's working pretty well, but we're trying to engage more the community, the alumni networks, and the student themselves, because what we learned is that if the students have ownership in the organization, they're more motivated to repay and actually help us with the projects, spread a word about us among the other students.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe I'll throw in another one. So I'm the one who asks questions when the rest of the judges are quiet. How many, do you have a plan? How many years do you think you'll depend on external funding versus one day saying we are running a business, we don't depend on funding?
Our model actually is a nonprofit model, but we're
Okay.
trying to make use of business models such as tuition loans, just to make it more sustainable. The fact that we are a nonprofit, which means we can depend on donor donations and also grants, it means we can take that risk. So we're not focused on their payment rate, although we put great value in it. Right now, our repayment rate is 80%. But unlike other micro-enterprises, which focus on repayment and getting the money back from these people, it's very hard with students because their main focus is studying. So I think for now we were maintaining that nonprofit model, but trying to accommodate more sustainable strategies, such as loans and then a social enterprise.
So who do you expect would continue funding you? Would you always depend on competitions like this? Or do you think you'll have a steady stream of promised money coming in from some donor? I don't know, Gates Foundation or somebody.
Our strategy right now is to tap on the alumni networks who have been very supportive.
Okay. One last question, Patricia?
So you're very early in, not even a year
Yes.
in. So where do you want to be next year? So in year 2, and then think forward to year 5. What will you look like?
Yes. So next year, we're targeting to have 100 students in the same campus where we're working. And then after that, we want to expand to the same university, but other campuses. And in 2 years' time, also be able to help students from other universities. So our vision is that if there can be a Sinag office or a Sinag satellite organization in campuses all over the Philippines, then we can have, and if we're able to involve the community and the students and the alumni networks in each of those universities, then we can have this sustainable system to hopefully in the long term, 5 years or 10 years, significantly affect the dropout rate in the Philippines, which is at a horrible 83%.
All right, time's up. Very well done. Congratulations.